I do not endorse his message. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Good morning and welcome to Wake Up Real Estate. I was honestly, we were a minute late. At least in part, where I was a minute late getting to Ryan, scheduling an appointment from yesterday's text message. And in fact,
nice.
If you missed Texting Tuesday yesterday's session, you have got to go check that out. On that session, I promised additional text scripts around this open-minded concept. And honestly, I didn't add any yet because I've had so many conversations. My KV Core text box has been blowing up since yesterday. I'll spend some time unpacking that here today. But I implore you all to use that.
You seem serious.
I've got a guy that wants to see a house today. We've got 4 or 5 other appointments scheduled for myself and my buyer specialist. And I only sent the text message to that one segment that we were talking about yesterday. I haven't sent it out to I've only sent it out to a fraction of my contacts in there. Ryan, I think you froze, making a very funny face, or maybe it's me who froze. It was bound to happen at some point.
Could be me. It actually said I had an unstable connection. Sorry about that, guys.
Okay. What were you saying?
You seemed serious. Your eyes popped out of your head. You were imploring.
I'm serious. You've got to use this. Honestly, it has been phenomenal. And a bunch of people have said, no, not interested, stop. And that's great too. Because what we've done is sorted out the ones that are ready, willing, and able now and gotten rid of the ones that are never going to do business with us anyway.
Yeah.
That's good, right?
Yeah.
What you focus on expands.
Yeah, and you keep the database growing. I was talking to somebody locally about this yesterday. With Facebook ads in particular, at $2 to $5 a lead, just keep growing it. Keep sending something cool, and then some of those $2 to $5 leads drop out because they don't want to engage with you. But you have a net positive growth in your database and a net growth in conversations if you're doing the stuff you're doing with your Texting Tuesday and newsletters and things like that.
Yeah,
on the follow up.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
that's awesome. Do you want to jump into some mortgage stuff?
Yep. Sorry, we definitely have a feed issue today, but whatever. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, so I'll bring up my screen. We'll just do rates really quick, and then I'll do my social post today. You keep talking to that guy. Sell him a house or whatever you need to do. So I thought this was interesting. Mortgage demand from home buyers drops 10% as interest rates jump. So from 6.3 to 6.43. You got to take everything CNBC does and most media does with a grain of salt, because last week they had the same article about how, the housing market's on fire because interest rates went down. So this is a little bit clickbait, some of these articles, but I'm just highlighting that rates have come up a little bit. You could share this post and, as something interesting, or to get some people off the fence that you think might be hesitant. If you want to use a little bit of a scare tactic to say, hey, rates might be going back up and you might want to hop in now. But so rates are about 6.43. What's it say on our little thing here? It says 6.7 on our little widget on the site, which incidentally you guys can get for free down at the bottom right. If you click this get widget, it'll take you to Mortgage News Daily, and you can put that on your website. And if you need help with the embed, let me know. I can help you do that. Josh, let's stay on the mortgage tip. You sent me a video. We were talking.
I have several mortgage things that I want to share in the spirit of helping you all do more deals. But go ahead and start with this one.
Well, I was lazy today. I didn't have a social post. We talked till about 9:54, and I realized I didn't have a social post. And luckily, you had sent me this short you did. So I hope I'm not stealing your social post today. But this is a really good program, guys. The DSCR for mortgage lend for investors. It's just cool. And a lot of people who own real estate already, who have a second or third property, could probably leverage this in some form, either to buy another property or to cash out something they already have. My post is just, hey, this DSCR program, great low money down option for real estate investors. Click this big arse link for more details and to request a consult today. You don't have to do the big arse, and then Josh, I'll just highlight and I'll let you talk. It takes you to one of these landing pages I've been working on right here, which you guys all have access to in the co-marketing section.
So to unpack this program more, here's the value in this program. If you have investors in your database, in your sphere of influence, past clients who buy properties for cash to renovate and rent out, short-term rental, long-term rental, whatever, lease option, right? They're not fixing to flip. They're buying cash, they're renovating, and they're going to hold on to them for at least, somewhat the foreseeable future. You can, with this program, they can refi with only 4 months seasoning. Why is that important? You may or may not know this. Typically, it's a minimum of 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months. Okay. It's only a couple of months, but it could mean that they free up cash to do another deal with you sooner. Right?
Yeah.
They can turn their money faster. And
you know how I might use this? You know how I might use this in a Renos? If you ran an ad for fixer-upper properties, so you had people opt in for fixer-uppers, which we know you can generate a pretty cheap lead. Everybody's kind of interested in that. And then on your bridge page or right after the opt-in, you either email or text, hey, just wanted to mention if you're looking to find, if you do fixers and to just do the spiel Josh just did, you could transition people into how to get the money to buy the list you just gave them, basically.
Yep. So I don't have a social post of the day. Actually, I mean, this is my social post of the day. I did post. I posted another short form video like this yesterday, and I have an image in the can, if you will. What does that even mean when you say in the, like? I'm not even sure. Like
in the can,
whatever. So I've got one that I'll be sharing later about a program that I mentioned last week briefly. It's come up, a few times here, but it is a down payment assistance program. It is a killer program that, even in more higher priced markets it's possible to do deals with. Okay. So here are the highlights of it. Actually, let me share my screen and I'll bring up the highlights here. Which, by the way, that while I'm doing that gives me a chance to do our please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the fun things. Please and thank you. We want to keep spreading the love here and help as many agents in our community as possible. Okay, here. So
and
it is an
Stefan Diggs
down payment.
This is Stefan. I need to.
It's got to be,
issues,
dude. If it's actually Stefan Diggs, or maybe it's his brother. What's his brother's name on the Cowboys? It's one of the Diggs brothers. It's got to be. If it is, we need to get you on the show. Yeah, can we? I don't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me if there's any real estate context or connection whatsoever. I don't really care. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So here's the highlights of this program. It's an FHA down payment assistance program. They can get a CLTV of up to 100%. They've got to have a 600 plus FICO, which is, I mean, we can help clients at 500 plus, but for this 100%, they've got to have 600 plus, which, by the way, our team provides free credit direction. So if you have a client who's not there yet, we will give them a plan to get there. Okay. 600 FICO with a cumulative LTV up to 100%. So it's 3.5% down payment assistance. Here's the big one and why this is, so for example, I'll juxtapose this against the 1% down payment program that we talked about on Monday's show. Okay. On Monday's show, if you missed it, or even if you didn't, we talked about the 1% down conventional mortgage program. And for that, the borrower has to be at or below 50% of the AMI. For this, they can be up to 160% of the AMI or the SMI, whichever is higher. What does that mean? So the AMI is the average median income in their local area, or the state median income, whichever is higher, which makes it even more applicable. It means potentially more borrowers can qualify. Okay, this is good for your borrowers and your clients. The max loan amount is per the county limit. So
the FHA limit.
The FHA limit, right?
Yeah.
So you can look that up. If you're not sure what that is, we can get you that number. But if you just Google, Cumberland County, PA FHA limit, like you should be able to find it pretty easily. There is no first-time home buyer requirement. Okay. No max DTI, and the funds, the 3.5% down payment assistance, can be used for down payment and or closing costs.
Oh, so basically just reduces your money out of pocket somehow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
3.5% less out of pocket. Okay. And then here's another big one. You can have non-occupant co-borrowers.
That's interesting.
Right? So mom or dad or whoever want to help. I'm not suggesting this, right? But the reality is, if somebody wants to do that for your client, that it is allowed under this program.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is a killer program. Like,
now the non-occupant co-borrower needs to qualify with all the same conditions, basically.
Correct. So,
okay.
But this brings up a good point, right? Because understanding this, I think, helps us be better problem solvers.
Yeah.
And you may or may not know this if you're listening to the show. If you've got co-borrowers, you can't mix and match their qualifications, right? You can't take this person's credit and this person's income and discredit this person's credit and not, you have to take all of their pluses and minuses.
Just a comment on that. If a lender that we work with figured out how to allow that, they would get a lot of business. Because if you think about it, if you have a husband and wife in the same household, they're married under the law, but you get like 50%. One of them qualifies with this stuff, the other qualifies with that stuff. It happens all the time, but both aren't perfect. But essentially, you're dealing with one entity. Like if you were dealing with an LLC or a corporate, Anyway, I'm going on a tangent, but guys, let me know what you think of that. Are you following what I'm saying? That would be huge. Yeah.
So back to this down payment assistance program, and we are going to put together marketing collateral for all of you to be able to create those conversations, around this. And just to get you thinking, right? Like you can get started with this right now by framing, whether it be social posts, email, text messages, offering down payment assistance. The other way you can frame this is new special financing program allows you to buy with zero down payment, right? So you can call it down payment assistance. You can call it a zero down payment program or financing option, or you can frame it. There's other ways too. We'll come up with other sort of variations of that. And the reason why I bring that up is I know from experience, Ryan knows from experience, we all see where certain phrases or language work better in certain markets for whatever reason. Different words or combinations of these offerings will get more response or less response depending on your market. So you want to have some different things. And George, I'm glad you chimed in because George, I know that you have had some marketing campaigns running around down payment assistance. Now, not recently, but also not that long ago, like this year, you had generated some leads around this. And the first thing we should do, George, with you, for you, or just me nudging you to do so, is reach out to all of those through KV Core and let them know, hey, we've got a new down payment assistance program that I think you would be interested in. Are you still thinking about buying a home here in Cape Coral?
How new is it? Because this highlights a point. There's a lot of Josh and I are figuring out that there are a lot of these little niche mortgage lending programs that are they're just out there, but nobody talks about them. Is this a new one?
Well, yes and no.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing that happens a lot is wholesale lenders will offer a program, and then based upon market conditions, they'll take it off. They'll take it off the table. They'll put it on hold, right? So I think this wholesale lender has had this program or a program similar to this in the past, but this specific program with the specific guidelines is new. Now, how new? I was just made aware of it. I think it's less than a month, but yeah. I could be wrong. I haven't confirmed that, but for most of us, it's new.
Yeah, and
you guys just play it up as new.
And we could do this every week. Josh and I, we've been spending a lot of time on mortgage stuff, and we'll get back to the nitty gritty tactical, lead generation stuff. But the reason we're on this so much is that we're seeing the responses and the engagement that these programs get from our existing databases.
And here's the thing to keep in mind. Even if you are a listing agent or listings heavy, and I would say, especially if you are, knowing this stuff helps you better serve your clients. And your clients are going to be going somewhere. And in fact, knowing some of these unique and different programs can allow you to potentially address an objection that they may have, because they may be uncertain about how they can buy the next house. Now, finding the next house inventory wise is another problem, but if you can offer them a better financing solution, it may open up more inventory possibilities to them, right? So I guess I highlight that to emphasize the point that this is not, knowing these programs and being aware that they exist and getting our help with them isn't only relevant if you're a buyer's agent. Quite the contrary, right? Because, I'll give a direct illustration, right? Let's say you have a listing and buyer agent brings client through, and in the feedback, it says XYZ, whatever. They love the house, but they felt like it needs some repair work or whatever, right? Or they love the house, but we just found out tonight that they don't qualify for, as high as we thought, right? Whatever that feedback is, you can reach back out and try to play problem solver with that buyer agent. Hey, I totally get it. The house does need some work. Have you talked with your buyers about an FHA 203K program or, another similar? If this is the perfect house for them, as far as location and neighborhood, et cetera, and it's just the condition, I think we can probably come up with the solution for that, right? So you being proactively problem solving, playing problem solver, it provides better service to your client. And I know in many cases, many of you who are listing properties are getting multiple offers and getting crazy stuff. But at some point here, that will sort of trend back down to normal, and you're going to have to work harder to get offers and to get your listing sold. And having this knowledge of what's out there will help you do that.
So some of these programs can save deals too, from the listing agent perspective. If something's pending and it falls apart and the buyer needs to scramble for another program, it could help.
Yeah.
So okay, so that's mortgage stuff. Do you have anything specific today? I've been running some ads local that are getting kind of cool results that I can share on Facebook.
I'm going to emphasize again here. This is what I'm going to. This is the only thing I'm going to share today. I said it at the beginning. I'm going to say it at the end or in the middle here. If you didn't use yesterday's text script or the magic phrase "open-minded," you don't want more business, because I'm telling you, I sent it to a less than 20% of my database, and I literally spent the rest of the day distracted by my phone buzzing with text replies. And Cosette has 3 confirmed appointments for later today. I got this guy who's begging to see a house that I can't get to show him until later today, and several others where they are interested, but they're out of town this weekend, or they're getting over a sickness or whatever. Like, it is killer. And what I'm going to do today, this afternoon, is send the variation on the listing or the seller side. Hey, would you be open-minded to listing your home this spring? Or would you be, here's, I think, how I'm going to do it. Golden letter style. Would you be open-minded to selling your home to one of our clients this spring? Not listing it, right? Because some people, listing, right?
More specific.
So, yeah, exactly. So I am definitely going to be doing either today or tomorrow, depending on how long it takes me to get caught up. Because literally, I sent it yesterday, and I'm still getting text replies today from it.
So Andre's chiming in, I think this happens all the time. He problem solved with a VA buyer agent for his condo listing, which just to mention, that program, you can do non-warrantable condos. And there are other things out there for non-warrantables for those of you guys who are in Florida and run into that a lot. So,
yep.
On the DSCR, you can.
Hey, so you brought that up. I want to highlight this. So real quick, our reverse mortgage specialist on our team, Richard, we're going to do a live with him to talk about, and we've done some content around reverse mortgages in the past, but I want to introduce everyone who's interested to Richard, our reverse specialist. And that the reason what triggered that is Ryan mentioning non-warrantable condo. That typically is a red flag or a strike through on a reverse mortgage. And Richard has figured out a workaround to make those work in some cases. So it just, it prompted me and gave me a reason to remind you that we can help with reverse. We've got a great specialist, and we are unique problem solvers when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Cool.
All right. Let's take a quick under the hood of what you've been working on.
Yeah. There's just a couple of these ads here that I ticked on. I ticked on an open house ad that I used to run, and I turned it back on yesterday. We have somebody new calling leads in the local office, so just wanted some more lead flow coming through. One thing I want to highlight is that yesterday was kind of a dud day. We paid $619 for 4 leads. It's not awful, and we paid $10 for our waterfront campaign, which is kind of an aberration. But it just left it running, and then today we're back down to 224 and 169 a lead. So just if you're running Facebook ads, don't let one day ruin you, because in the past I might have just turned that off, Josh. If I saw that, I would have assumed it was stale and not working anymore. But give these things time. The open house list ad, I think, is a wonderful, wonderful funnel, especially if you want to attract if you just want to attract everybody. Oh, and I forgot my image here. There you go, Josh. This is for you. How do I get it to show up? Come on, Facebook.
Why is it for me? Because of the red
I
border? Oh. I didn't see the dog.
I know. It's in there. This idea, we've talked about this before, putting stuff on lawns in your ads. If you guys aren't doing this already, it can get a little extra engagement and maybe just give you, have you a joke you could do with your friends. Put a dog pooping on the lawn. That's your tactic of the day.
Or Spider-Man or
Spider-Man or Mr. T. Yeah. But anyway, this works really good, guys. Just a complete current list of open houses this weekend. And it's the easiest thing to follow up on because you just keep sending the open house list every week. It's a very simple kind of Redos, niche operating system you can do around open houses. And you just do the featured open house of the week, for something cool. Were you going to say something?
Well, I mean, I was going to say, if people are opting in for that, I mean, I guess there's a certain percentage of the population that just love going to open houses.
Yeah.
But I think there's something to be said that, potentially a higher percentage of these folks are in market.
Yeah.
And let's face it, not every real estate agent is as good as all of us on this session are. And I have gotten many clients, and Cosette on my team, we've gotten many clients who were working with another agent, and decided they didn't want to work with that agent anymore for one reason or another.
Yeah.
And you may capture some of that opportunity. And when you demonstrate through your actions and behaviors that you are a more that you provide more value, that you're a creative problem solver, that you have access and knowledge to unique financing programs like the DPA program that we mentioned here, things of that nature, you win their business, and it may get you some immediate opportunities. That was, I don't know, that was what was running through my head as you were sharing that anyway.
Yeah, no, good point. I'm adjusting my text here. I think when I initially built this campaign, I did something like the form wasn't working earlier or something. I don't know. So I'm just changing my initial conversation starting text to thanks for checking out the open house list just now. Just curious, you actively shopping for a home investor property right now? Yeah.
And so when I'm talking about open houses, like open houses in our weekly email newsletter, that's one of the curated lists that we send. Not although maybe we should send that one every Friday. Yeah. When I do, I put a fun little note in, like, hey, make sure if the agent holding the open asks, make sure to let them know that you're working with my team and I. And I kind of put I usually put like a smiley face or something, right? Like I'm trying not to make it like pushy, but I'm planting a seed because I have heard that objection from agents. Why would I send people to open houses? Like, don't I risk losing the business?
Yeah. Yeah, Dealey said something to me about that once, that we're sending people to other people's open houses, but I don't know that it's an issue.
Well, I think you can be proactive about not losing that, because if the agent hosting the open is really good, which few are, but if they're really good at capturing and following up, etc., it could happen.
Dude.
But like if you here's sort of a way to help address that. If you're sending that information and then on Monday morning or Monday afternoon, you're following up with everybody in your dashboard that you see looked at the open houses, and your question is, hey, did you check out any of the open houses that I sent you over the weekend? Right? And then you have that conversation. You can still capture that back if they were, hey, there was one that we really like and whatever. Like, I don't know. I think you can. I think it's a false.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that happens is, hey, I can't make that open house, but I really want to see that property. Right. When people see that on the list, if it's something that really appeals to them, it's a cool niche. It's one we should explore more. I think I like it because it's so easy to execute and to create content around. Every weekend there's something cool being held open.
So our local association, I don't know how many years ago at this point, they had billboards promoting like open houses. Like they had like an open house funnel. Like it was something that they were doing allegedly as a value add for members of our local association.
Allegedly.
Well, I mean, they were trying, I guess. They were trying more than most or some.
Right.
But there's something to that, right? Like, a billboard that just said 717openhouses.com. I don't know. Like,
yeah.
There might be something to that. And then you have agents reaching out to you. If you do it long enough, well enough, consistently enough, you may have agents reaching out to you like, hey, how can you feature my open house in your marketing or to your database or whatever? So, yeah, right on. I do some on auctions if you need to be registered. Oh, like you register your clients? Is that what you mean, Mark?
Yeah.
If on auctions, yeah, I think that's smart, right? I think that's smart for sure. And there might be something, you could even have every Saturday morning a follow-up say, hey, if you're planning on checking out any of the open houses I sent you this weekend, let me know if you'd like me to pre-register you with the on it or something like that. Like there's a way you could even turn that into an opportunity to, to turn that into a plus, right? And a lot of the open houses that you may be sending or maybe on the list are new construction where you could pre-register your buyer too. So anyway, I think there's a lot you can do proactively there to turn what may be something, an objection in your head to why this, something bad that may happen with this into a huge plus and opportunity. So, all right, Ryan, in the spirit of trying to keep these short and sweet, do you have anything else before we wrap for the day?
Well, I just want to make sure everybody who is on the team, so to speak, knows that we're launching our Caffeinated membership. And the way we're kind of soft launching it this week, and if you are on, did I just say on your team? How do you say that? If you're on Josh's team, or if you're
my EXP organization,
yeah, and if you're local here at Forever Florida with me, then you have access to this stuff. And we're gonna do our first group coaching session today at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
So let me just show Josh how to actually get to the page on the site really quickly.
Sure. Yeah.
And if any of you have issues getting into this, because we're trying to add your membership access behind the scenes, and it should be okay. But if you can't get to the page, just chat us on the site and we'll get you in. But where it is, if I go to Wake Up Real Estate here, if you go to this new yellow thing, this memberships, it says Caffeinated. And you'll get to a page like this. And, the main kind of thing we're doing here is we're going to help you build these real estate niche operating systems. But the membership itself has a bunch of other stuff inside and benefits. But right under this, you'll see the group coaching Zoom link. And this link is it still the same link that everybody's been using, Josh? Did you redirect it?
For my organization, yes, it is. Yep.
Yeah. So if you go to that same link you've always had for Josh, you'll notice that it just wants you to sign up once, and then you'll register for all the sessions there Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. And we're going to just kick off today by talking about niche selection. Like the first step is just to decide what your local niche is going to be. I am gradually, and Josh is gradually just adding stuff to the main Renos course. So when you get there today, there's not going to be a ton in there. I have the wrong link. I got to fix that. Let's see. I have it going to the video, Renos course. But you guys can kind of get started with us on this. And what we're trying to do, Josh, is we really believe that if you follow this structured process, you can do, I don't want to put an exact number, but I think you could do another deal a month. Just by putting one of these systems and installing it and working it. Is that unreasonable? 12 a year?
Yeah. No, not even remotely unreasonable. I mean, I think it's very, very reasonable and conservative.
Yeah, conservative. Yeah, you should be able to get to a nice 4. I feel like as a solo agent, 4 was my tipping point. If you don't have a team or anything and you're just running solo and you can run one of these with focus, you can get to 4 deals a month to kind of like healthy volume without having to add any more staff or teammates. And then you can scale from there depending on what the niche is.
Absolutely.
So anyway, join us, guys, if you can. If you're not on the team or whatever, when you go to the Caffeinated link on the site, you'll go to a sales page, which is going to be chock full of all of Josh and my's, awesome copywriting. And I'm just kidding. It's just some bullet points about what's inside there. We need to evolve this. It's not great. Josh has a video of him in the car drinking coffee. That's how sophisticated it is.
Please watch that. I really amused myself making that video, if nothing else. I literally had to do several takes because I was laughing so hard at myself. And it's really not that good, but at least make me feel good and tell me that it's awesome.
It was good enough, Josh. It was good.
Yeah, it's good enough. It does the job.
But again, if you're on the team already, you don't have to pay for this. If you're not on a team and you want more in-depth kind of coaching with Josh and I, and you want to execute these processes, we have an option for that now. And part of the reason we're doing this is because people were asking us about it. So
totally.
Here it is. Cool. Anything else from you?
But honestly, we're kind of anti like the typical coaching model. Not that can't work for some folks. This is more tactics, strategies, and building systems based. We're not going to try and hold you accountable to how many dials you make every day. That's just never.
We're not going to get on the phone and talk every 2 weeks and talk about your goals. Sorry. Your goals are to take action every day on this process.
We're going to give you what to do and daily group coaching to help reduce the friction in doing that work. That's really what it's about. So
yeah.
More on that coming soon. Check it out if you haven't already on the site. And if you haven't created your free membership, what are you waiting for? Go to wakeup.real estate, create your free membership there. Please subscribe, rate, and review if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast platform. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Tomorrow is Tech Tip Thursday. I don't know. I'm sure we'll come up with some good tech tips for you. If you need anything in the meantime, please don't hesitate to ask. There is a little widget at the bottom right corner of the site. If you get stuck, if you have trouble logging in or, whatever, we've got built-in support chat right there. And that's for anybody. That's for free members or, caffeinated group coaching members or our organizations. So thanks so much. And we'll see you back tomorrow. Same place, same time.
See you guys. Thanks.